Hey everybody, good morning and welcome to the Adibi IP group, a live innovators Q&A, your daily live cast, bringing you guys answers to common intellectual property questions related to patents, trademarks, copyrights, trade secrets. We're your host, Amir and Victoria, bringing you guys this content every single day of the week. We've been doing some awesome shows. Lately, we've been doing a lot of IP teardown. So looking at a lot of these common companies that a lot of you guys are always talking about, Facebook, LinkedIn, and then just taking a look at how they go about protecting their intellectual property. We've taken a slightly different angle than a lot of others, I think, in that we're focusing on probably what might be considered less traditional forms of IP, like looking at their design patents. So glad that we can bring you guys this content, and hopefully you guys find it useful, and hopefully it also helps you guys think creatively about how you guys might go about protecting your intellectual property. So before we get started on today's show, this is episode number 90. Victoria, why don't you help us out by reminding us what we did yesterday on episode 89.
Yesterday on episode 89, we went through all of Snapchat's trademarks.
Yeah, so showed you guys about Snapchat and trademarks, how they protect their ghost and their various icons. And it was a really interesting episode also because we also got to see some marks that they hadn't yet filed a statement of use on, but they had filed several extensions, like I think it was Snapcash. So again, trademark rights, super powerful, allows you to protect your brand forever, as long as you use it continuously. So incredibly powerful right. Definitely something that you guys should all be considering, especially if you're in the software industry. So that was episode 89. Victoria, what are we doing today on episode 90?
Today on episode 90, we're looking at Weedmaps trademarks.
So a lot of you guys are super familiar with Weedmaps. I'm sure it's founded in late 2000s, I believe 08, allows individuals to look up dispensaries, find locations, cannabis dispensaries, and then also they even have online delivery services. I mean, that business is just totally blew up. And so what I want to do is I want to show you guys how you can go about identifying and finding their trademarks. And then I want to do a teardown. I want to go into it and show you guys what active trademarks that they presently have. So hopefully you guys find this super useful. Again, the purpose of these shows is to give you guys start to finish content so that you guys not only will learn something as you watch, but you will also have tools so that you can apply these in your daily lives to research your competitors, to research other market spaces that you guys might possibly want to go into. And also just to give you guys creative ideas for how you guys can go about protecting your own trademarks. So you can learn a lot by seeing how others are filing and protecting their brands. One of the beauties, I've said it before, one of the beauties of the trademark system is that all applications are public right when you file. So again, it's all out there. You can learn a whole lot. So let's just get started. So what I want to do is first things first, we got to figure out who would own the Weedmaps mark. So the way you can do that is you can go to weedmaps.com. So let's toggle over there and then hop over there. And then I'm going to zoom in just so you guys don't have any issues seeing my screen. But what I want to do is first things first, I want to figure out what the legal entity is that holds their marks and possibly their other IP. So if you click on, for example, legal, and you look at their terms of use, you can see right here, you can see these terms are a legally binding contract between Ghost Management Group LLC. So this is probably also the company that holds their intellectual property, like their trademarks and their goodwill and their brands. So let's test that theory. We're going to toggle back. We're going to go to tsdr.uspto.gov. We're going to click on search trademarks. And again, remember, you can apply what I'm showing you here. You can apply to any other company that you guys might be interested in researching. And then you're going to click on basic word mark search. And then you're just going to put in their name here. And then you're going to click owner name. Now, one thing I do is I'd suggest you probably use quotes. That would probably knock out a lot of others that might also have similar hits, like if they have the word ghost in them. So once you do that and click, let's just look at the live marks, by the way. Go ahead and click submit query. So we get 17 hits, okay? 17 hits, live marks. Let's just take a look. Let's hop in here. Kind of curious as to how many are dead. Let's just take a quick look. So if we look at dead marks 2, 17 live, and 6 dead. Interesting. Marijuana Cup, Weedmaps grown in Oregon, Weed Cup, Weedmaps Cup, Ghost Group, and MMJ Menu. Okay, interesting. Maybe if we have time at the end, we can go back and look at these. But let's just dive in. I'll take a look at some of their live marks. Start from the very bottom. So again, this is a registered mark. This looks like their core name, Weedmaps. And as you can see, again, originally registered by Weedmaps Media, Newport Beach, and obviously later, once it became Ghost Group Management Group (LLC), they probably assigned their rights to the new entity. But let's dive in. So let's see. So they filed under Class 35. So again, promoting the goods and services of others, and again, the goods and services are of course related to, interestingly, herbal products, right? So notice when they applied. So this was back in 2008, and the first use in commerce was also in 2008. Now, remember, back in 2008. You wouldn't have used the word cannabis in the description of goods because that would have been a red flag, right? Because trademark law fundamentally requires use in commerce. And so it's federally not lawful. And so this is a really, really good example because what we're seeing here is how a company that provides these sorts of services can pursue federal trademark protection, even though the content, the subject of what they are advertising might have complications under federal law. So again, you'll note no mention anywhere here of cannabis, but we're talking about herbal products. And again, 35, this usually covers business B2B services. And then also 38. Now, 38, this is so online forums. A lot of you guys are going to file under 38 if you guys have like live streams, because live streams is covered under 38. So let's go back. Let's take a look again. Filing 2011. Interesting that they started earlier, right? So they started using it in 08, but they didn't file until almost 3 years later. So just remember, guys, always better file early, file early. You want the earlier filing date. Let's go back. Let's take a look at some of the others. So this is probably going to also be a similar mark, but covering different classes. So we saw class 35 and class 38. This is going to be covering class 42. So this is generally this is SaaS services, software as a service. So here it's online community. So social media, a lot of social media companies also have marks under class 42 because they have a web-based product that's software as a service. Interestingly, here you do see, and you see medical cannabis, right? Very, very important qualifier, medical cannabis. Actually, let's dive in. Let's see if that was required. If that was required by the examiner. Sometimes they will do that where they actually require you to qualify or amend the description of goods. Now, it's interesting because in this one, they might have required. So here's an office action, right? So right away, you know there's something up. So let's take a look. Let's dive in here. You got a merely descriptive refusal. Supplemental register, but let's see if they initially went under cannabis. Okay, so interesting. So when they actually filed, they didn't even mention, it looks like they didn't even mention cannabis. So the examiner actually suggested it, recommended it. It looks like, yeah, the examiner recommended it. So they went for it. Let's take a look at what other marks they have. Weed menu, okay. Electronic catalog services featuring herbal products of others. So again, of others, this implies this is your classic B2B, right? So they're helping other businesses. So class 35, they fit perfectly under 35. Weedmaps, let's see, here's another one under, oh, okay, now here's their logo, right? And again, this was filed back in 14. And again, also 35, 38, and 42, and also 9. So once you have a mobile application that's actually downloaded onto your mobile phone, right? So like once it's an app that you can download onto this device, then you're looking at class 9 because it's recorded and downloaded and stored on the device. So that puts you in class 9. So good tip for those of you guys who develop software out there is you're most likely, and I've done prior episodes on this, but you're probably going to end up in both class 9 and class 42. So just keep that in mind. Let's go back and see what else we have here. So, okay, so just the letters W and M. Okay, and here's, so the prior one was a word mark. This is a design now. So it's got the bottom arc right below the W and the M. And again, 9, 35, and 38. This one's filed in 14. So now more Weedmaps. Yeah, this looks like it's going to be a shorter episode, guys, but that's okay. I wanted to do a teardown. I wanted to show you guys how businesses related to the cannabis space have gone about protecting their marks, and this is a really great example. Again, this was filed back in 14. Again, promoting goods and services of others. downloadable software. So no surprise here. Again, same thing. So this is composite. It's called a composite mark because it has design elements and also words. So the letters W and M, and then there's also this arc at the bottom. Yeah, let's take a look. So there's more Weedmaps. Looks like there's 3 other Weedmaps. Class 9. Okay, so this is going to cover downloadable. So downloadable, and it's also covering medical cannabis and herbal products. And interestingly, again, notice the word medical cannabis. Important qualifier, I'm sure. This looks like it's probably going to be similar. Okay, 25. Now we're getting into clothing and apparel. So now this is swag. So now they're hustling swag, and so now they're going to expand out into class 25. And now they also have retail stores. So, and again, 2017, right? So that's the first use in commerce, right? So again, trademark, really interesting way to learn about the history of a company. It catalogs it, how when their services first came out, how they grew over time, how they expanded out over time. We especially saw that yesterday with Snap. I mean, just going into all the different classes that the later marks they filed under. I mean, it's very fascinating. So they have a lot of these marks on the WM, and again, they're just expanding out. This is just brand expansion. What you guys are seeing unfold before your eyes is just the brand expanding out into clothing and apparel, and then also brick and mortar retail store services. So, and again, Weedmaps. Let's see what this is covering. This looks like it's, yeah, again, promoting goods and services of others, audio and visual promotional materials. Oh, and music events. Okay. Promoting sports and music events. Kind of interesting. I don't know that I necessarily knew that I associated them with musical events. Maybe some of you in the comments will tell me that I should know about that. Let's see. Okay. Okay. So again, very interesting way to learn about a brand. So Weedmaps, herbal legends. Okay. So it looks like they're also promoting musical events. So again, if you guys want to see what specimens they filed, all you have to do is go into the actual TSDR, which is the trademark database of pending applications. Oh, sorry guys, I disappeared for a second. We're still live, right, Victoria? Cool. I'm very sorry about that, guys. I meant to go back and I hit back on the wrong screen. So, all right, very minor technical difficulties. All right, so again, this is going to be a shorter episode, but I really think it's really informative. I'm glad we're showing you guys this. Again, WM, they're expanding out, so you're going to see it. So Weedmaps, WM, they're just going to expand out and file additional applications once they enter into new markets. Okay, so here the market looks a little different. And again, it's class 35 and 42. So, this one's pending, not yet issued. So, wow, see all these classes filed on 2018. And interestingly, they filed under 1B. That means they intend to use the mark in commerce, but haven't yet started. Now, kind of interesting. As you guys can see, this is because this is related to their delivery services. You see that? Coordinating customer pickup, transportation, and delivery services. So this is possibly just more brand expansion. Delivery, regulatory compliance, order pickup, transport, and delivery. So expanding. And it all, you can see it, it's all cataloged here in their trademark applications. So WMMW, okay, apparel, retail store services. Kind of interesting. Let's see how they use this one. Oh, they went under 1B, it looks like, actually. So we're not going to actually see that. Yeah, 1B. So they haven't yet started using it in commerce. And then Weedmaps, Museum of Weed. Also pending. Also under 1B. So they have retail store services and apparel. So they're selling swag. Just for curiosity, let's just do a quick Google search. Here you go. LA. Looks like, obviously, I'm sure COVID's not helping that, but it looks like I'm not actually sure if they're related. I'm assuming it is, but let's see. Museum of Weed. So maybe they're producing and selling clothing. Yeah, we'd have to research more and figure out their affiliation. But again, we actually saw this earlier, actually, in some of our earlier content, where we were looking at Twitch, and we saw the collab with Subway. So again, really fascinating way to learn about companies' growth trajectories and how they partner with other brands to create and expand their brands. So very cool. I'm glad you guys were able to hopefully gather really interesting and useful information out of this. And hopefully you guys can use these as tools when you guys are analyzing other market spaces that you guys might want to go into, or just research your competitors. So that was episode number 90. We took a look at Weedmaps. And yeah, I think we're going to keep doing these teardowns, do genres, just trying to bring you guys as much valuable content as we possibly can. If you guys have specific questions or you have specific topics that you want us to cover on this show, please email victoria@adibiip.com. Victoria@adibiip.com. And also we have Victoria can't hold it. She's cracking up. Oh man. And we have a community number, 415-943-5193. 415-943-5193. Would love to have you on our text community. Shoot me a text to get direct access to me. And if you have questions, I'll try to even get them answered on the show. And thank you so much for watching. Looking forward to bringing you guys more awesome content. This is episode 90, and I hope everybody has an awesome weekend. And look forward to seeing you guys next week for episode number 90.